I ran out of flash drives, so I went to Micro Center. While walking around, I saw many different options. I had to grab a pack of the 32 gig ones. I knew I was gonna grab 64 because I was making a short. Then I saw $22.99 for a 256, and you know I had to pick up 2 of them. I also stopped at the maker section because this is my favorite part of the store. I ended up finding one of these Raspberry Pi fans. Maybe we can use it with a flash drive. And I'm back. So I didn't want to film too much of Micro Center because I didn't exactly ask for permission. But anyways, I did pick up some Micro Center flash drives. Now, I've made a couple of videos on my channel about these drives and that they are just not that great. Now I pulled one apart here so I can show you. This is our 64 gig drive. Now here's our drive in all its glory. This is a 64 gig version and it is using a 64 gig TSOP NAND flash paired with a Fission PS2251. Now what I was originally thinking was if I could read-write firmware to this chip, maybe I could speed it up. But to be honest, I think our limitation is this TSOP NAND memory. So you've seen what's inside the 64 gig cart. Of course, the 32 is the exact same way, TSOP NAND. But what surprised me was their 256 gig flash drives. Now, just a quick side note, the 128 gig does use a TSOP NAND. I bought one of those a while back, opened it up, and sure enough, it has a TSOP NAND. But the 256, let's open it up and take a look. Beautiful. Unfortunately, the way these are put together, we basically kind of have to break into the housing. Don't try this at home, kids. Okay, here we are. There we are. Ooh, I don't know what kind of chip that is. What kind of chip is that? I thought this was EMMC. Okay, so this is our 256 gig flash drive paired with the exact same Fission chip, but this is a BGA chip. And what kind of chip is this? Because what I was thinking is, because I bought 2 of these 256 gig drives, I thought we could possibly take the EMMCs off the 64 gig version I made, and then take the 256 gig off of this, and off of this one, which is, oh, that's a different Fission chip too. Oh man, this is interesting. So this has got like a surface mount QFN chip, and this one's got like a quad flat package for a controller. All right, so I'm deciding this. Let's get rid of this label and we'll see what kind of chip this is. All right, there we go. Of course, it's gonna be some random weird part number. All right, I'm gonna look this up and see what it is. So upon my research, I think that this is an internal part number, and I'm not exactly sure what type of chip this is. I think the only way to know realistically is to get this chip off the board and take a look at the BGA. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Micro Center. I love Micro Center a lot. It's not that I'm complaining about their $3 flash drives. The thing is I just, okay, fine, I have some beef. The reason I have beef is because in 2015, I was sick and tired of buying USB 2.0 flash drives. And then of course I saw the Micro Center branded ones that were the blue USB 3.0. And was I expecting speed? Absolutely, because if it's gonna have the blue, it's gonna be fast. And it wasn't. And they would fail on me constantly. So I have set out to embark on a historic journey to make the best and fastest Micro Center flash drive available. Now back to this chip. I think the only way to figure out what chip this is to remove it. Ooh. Okay. Do you think Micro Center will return it now? You know what I think this is? This looks like an iPhone NAND. Like, maybe like an iPhone 6? I gotta go through my stencils and see if I can find one that will match. No, maybe it's not iPhone 6. Let me see. I don't know what kind of NAND this is. It's definitely a NAND though. It's not iPhone 7. Nope. 5C, it's not that. Nope. 6 Plus, nope. iPhone 5, nope. iPhone 7, it's not that. Nope. They all kind of share the same NAND. Ah, I think I found it. I think it's an iPhone 8 NAND. I have an 8 and an 8 Plus, and it looks like it shares the same stencil. Let's find out. All right, well, the pads line up perfectly. They do. Well, I'll tell you what. While we're here, we're gonna go ahead and reball this chip. Now, the chip already has solder, and there's obviously no signs of any abuse to these joints. So we're just gonna blow some good solder into it while we have the chance. Just add it up, we'll be good to go. Also go over this with a razor blade. And we're making beautiful solder balls. There we go, reballing this chip. I've never reballed this chip before. This is a first time for me. But I have seen this chip before, and this is exactly what I thought it was. iPhone 8 Plus. Well, or iPhone 8, doesn't matter. It's the same thing. You know, to be honest, I am kind of disappointed. I was really hoping that this flash drive had an eMMC, so we could possibly take the two 256 gig, what I thought would be eMMCs, and then create a 512 version of the super fast flash drive. But unfortunately, it uses an iPhone 8 NAND, iPhone 8 styled NAND. So my big thing here is, now that we took the chip off, can we get the chip back on and see if the flash drive still works? First, I gotta add some flux. Now, I will be honest, my flash drive is not perfect and does have some fatal flaws. But I would love to team up with Micro Center and see if we can create a cheap but better alternative to these flash drives. I mean, dude, TSOV NAND is just old and outdated. And maybe can we get a better controller for these? Because I think these chips are pretty fast. But obviously this Fission controller, maybe if there was like a firmware hack or something like that, we can make these flash drives way better. And that's why I'm using this eMMC drive where it's got two eMMCs and it's got a programmable NS1081. I mean, you saw the short, it did 112 megabytes per second. And to be honest, off camera, I had it sometimes doing over 125 megabytes per second. You cannot make this up, man. I told you I was getting 125 megabyte right on this world's fastest Micro Center flash drive. I mean, dude, that's insanely fast for a flash drive, especially of this size. And I know there were a lot of people saying, oh, Chase, it's not the fastest flash drive in the world. It is the fastest Micro Center flash drive in the world. Now let's get this chip installed. We got to match up the triangle with this dot right here. Okay. And we give a little jiggle test. There we go. Let's connect the drive and make sure it still works or it's shorted. I have no idea. Oh, it looks like it's reading. Oh, and we got it. So it looks like this drive is working even after we desoldered the NAND. Micro Center flash drives. I love them. I hate them. I love them because they're so cheap. I hate them because they're so slow and they fail so often. So what is the real solution here? I think I know what I want to do. Because we know that the custom eMMC drive fits in the flash drive housing, my question is, I know we could make a 1 terabyte version, but I'm not sure if anybody makes a 1 terabyte eMMC. They make a 512, and I think we could take two 512s and make a 1 terabyte Micro Center flash drive. I know the question isn't, can it be done, because we know it can be done, especially considering our world's largest HDMI port and cable that actually works. It's like finding a solution to a problem that doesn't actually exist. But that's the thing. The problem does exist, and I want to solve it. If this video gets 500 likes, I'll make a 1 terabyte flash drive.